So you call the meeting of the planning board to order. Would you give us the roll call, please?
Mary Fay,
Present.
Mark Sabella,
Here.
Jay Beatty,
Here.
Craig Polson.
Here. Okay. Reading and approval of the minutes from October 17th. We have the public hearing minutes from Olean 2020 LLC. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Second, Mark, so Mary and Mark. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Those minutes
Just
are
jumping
approved.
in.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. We go just pretty fast.
Yeah, planning board minutes from the, let me see, we have three, sorry. October 17th, right, I was just looking. Public hearing, because there were two, 20, they both look the
There
same
were
though.
two only in 2020.
Ah,
They were there.
for 2101, that was the first one, so do you think that'll cover all of them?
Yes,
And then okay, we'll do that for the public hearings. The regular meeting minutes for October 17th. Do I have a motion to approve those?
Motion.
Second.
Mark and Mary, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes are approved.
So we did the two 2020s together?
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll double the motion.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I was thinking they had been under different names initially. So, okay. Old business, I
None
don't
at
think
this
we
time.
have anything right now.
No.
So new business is the Olean YMCA, new application, and we have the tenants, or the applicants here. Would you guys like to go through your project and explain to the board what your proposal is? I think most of you, we've received the packet, so we've generally seen it.
Sure.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to hear.
Yeah, so my name's Jeff Townsend. I'm the new CEO of the YMCA of the Twin Tiers, including the Olean branch. And as you can see in your packets are up here, we would like to expand our footprint to include the property directly behind the Wayne Street YMCA, to include a beautiful outdoor campus. We've purchased the properties and are in the process of combining them. And the goal ultimately is to create a safe, enclosed outdoor space. I don't know how much detail I
Yeah.
can give, but I'll give you some of the features. There's a airnasium, which is basically an outdoor gymnasium. We learned through COVID that when people couldn't be safely indoors, we needed to create outdoor spaces that they could still gather and exercise and be healthy. And so the airnasium will be an opportunity for things like pickleball, floor hockey, soccer, basketball, up into including like theater productions for kids. So a lot of different activities under the airnasium, as well as senior fitness classes. And then it'll be encompassed in the middle here with a beautiful new playground. And then kind of the other big feature is the 4-season splash pad that turns into an ice rink in the winter. And then lastly, 2 fire pits for gathering. So that's kind of the whole scope of the project. Again, it really won't transform anything other than directly behind the Y on Wayne Street. So here is our association office building and the parking that we will use, but it really won't affect that part of the campus at all. Questions?
Is it going to be used day and night?
Yeah, there will be some evening use, especially at this time of the year when it's dark much earlier. So there will be some evening skating and stuff that'll happen in the winter.
And where were the lighting?
The lighting, you probably have it best.
I think we actually have the lighting plan in the package too.
I remember in the code enforcement memorandum, they note 3 different types of lighting.
For the project.
So here's the lighting plan that was included in the site plan package. So you have some LED light poles, LP ones throughout the campus. You have the bollards, which I think were up toward the walkway and entrance from the main building. And then you have your pit lighting, which is some right up here.
Closest to the building.
Closest to the buildings, so a couple different variations of LED lights throughout the campus.
They're low, it's low on the ground.
All low,
All low.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes,
I think
no
that this
high
one is on the
lights.
corner of the Airnasium and it shines this way.
Yep.
Okay.
But they all shine inward to the campus, not outwards to the community. I know that was talked about at several meetings.
Yeah, and I can give a couple other engineering details. Jeff did this job of the overall. I just wanted to point out, bathhouse was where we went to the ZBA, requested the variance, so that was granted. It is all enclosed with a fence around the entire new facility and up through here, so that it is gated, and my understanding is only access will be from the current building.
Traditional, unless it's big special
Unless-
events or
special
something, there'll be
events.
side access, but
Yep.
yeah, to filter everyone through the Y so that they can be scanned in through our system, which, if you're not familiar, the Y system is connected to a national database. It's called Barracuda. It identifies sexual predators. And so if anyone who is a known is on the registry in any state, it'll alert us when they scan in or when we put them through Barracuda. So the decision was made that everyone would come straight through the Y. That way we could ensure that folks that are accessing the outdoor space will be safe.
Yeah, what kind of fence and how high?
It's 6
I think
foot
it's a 6 foot aluminum.
and
Yeah, I
aluminum.
saw aluminum, but I didn't see it designed.
See it like, chain link?
No, I think it was,
No, I think I had I don't know if I brought the details with me, the details in the site package.
I didn't see it, unless I missed it.
That may be something we have to detail out yet.
That's what Mary and I were talking, I said, I wonder if we are down to that level of detail yet or not, 'cause I didn't see.
We got like pole bases and landscaping plan on here. I can get you that
Oh,
detail.
no, that's, yeah, I just was, yeah.
Yeah, just curious.
It's not gonna be see-through, probably not.
the plan was not to have it be chain link, I know that much.
Yeah.
Just for the aesthetics of the neighborhood, we didn't wanna,
Yeah,
Right,
it just
Right,
didn't
right, right.
look good.
that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. I said,
But it's gonna be somewhat open, not opaque, not fully opaque, or will it be?
We didn't
I
go
think
through
we-
that yet.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's a good question.
Pros and cons to either way.
Each.
Right.
Yeah, I can see it both ways.
Mhm.
There also will be security cameras out there,
Mhm.
just as another added layer of protection. And,
Yeah,
you know, in this day and age, things happen. Kids
Mhm.
fall and
Oh,
get
yeah,
hurt and you wanna
yeah.
see how they got hurt,
yeah.
you know, so.
Alright, so we at least know 6 foot and aluminum.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright,
We can probably have that detail before we come back to the
Yeah.
public meeting.
alright,
Yeah, we
that would be
expect
nice,
that to
and
be
we
about
just
2
put it
weeks.
for the record.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
I guess I just had just more of curiosity, because I know you've gone through the zoning board already to get the setback variance. But why was it that the bathhouse, is that oriented that way as opposed to, say, along the back of the parking lot facing the other direction and shifted over maybe?
Part of it had to do with water, right, with the connections. And then the
Oh,
other part
underground.
was we lined it up off the Wayne Street building. So,
But the
so yeah, I think
they're
it lines
open
up
from-
directly down.
Gotcha.
Well, I wondered if a part of it was for flow from the line.
Yeah, part of it was visual sightline and then the other part was the utility connections.
Yeah, and then the functional part of that is to be close to the ice rink and splash pad for
Mhm.
changing purposes. And so it was a proximity
Right.
aspect in there too.
Okay.
there'd be restroom facilities also on it?
5.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah, I
five
think
in there.
5, I think we had 5.
Yeah, I think it's, I just didn't remember seeing like I don't know if they were just changing rooms or they had facilities in it.
Floor plan should be in the same,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
there you
right
go.
there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they're changing and they all have
Changing
bathrooms
and-
in
and
each room.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Very nice.
Keep your maintenance people busy. Cleaning. Okay.
Well, I think that kind of covers us
Yeah,
with lighting and drainage and green spaces.
Oh, drainage, just to touch on that real quick, generally, everything kind of flows down to this southern end, so we're capturing the majority or almost all of the runoff in some dry swales, and then we have 2 dry wells that will treat a 100-year storm that satisfies the DEC requirements of a 100-year storm, so just
Good.
put that out there.
Okay,
And I
Good.
presume handicapped accessible,
Yes.
all of it.
Yep, all the gates are handicap accessible. There's trails that lead to each piece that are, and walkways that are all wide enough.
Looks good.
It's
I
nice.
know this isn't one of our, but is the ice skating rink gonna be, is it gonna, you're just gonna use natural freezing, or are you gonna have a freeze, I mean,
The system does allow for freezing.
freezing,
so,
okay,
yeah.
okay, I didn't know how to. Like at the rec center, you know, I mean, they freeze that, they freeze, they're able to freeze
was
that.
there a refrigerator?
It's a
Yeah,
chill.
refrigeration, that was the word.
So for the type of weather we were having last week,
Oh,
you'd still be
perfect.
able to have ice.
That's right,
Yeah.
and it would be a nice time to skate, because it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
temperature's nice, but the ice is still frozen.
Right. Okay, cool.
I think it's very well thought out. I know CPL's been working with the Y for some time and very involved, and I like that it was really planned.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, we
fine
spent a
tuned.
lot of time on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you really got a lot of activities in a small area.
yeah, and it really
Honestly,
maximizes
mhm.
space.
Good.
Okay. All right, so moving from there, we need to do, well, I guess,
Do we go over a couple of items?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not sure since, like for,
The flow,
blanking, yes,
it's okay.
just, declaring lead agent and things like that,
And we
since
don't
the
have
zoning
to.
board. did.
Right. Yeah, so I'll make notes of that in the
Okay.
record and, but if we could, I'll just go over Ryan's memorandum real quick for code. Code enforcement reviewed it, in full, obviously, between the zoning board and the planning board. And, code enforcement officer Reed prepared, his memorandum advising about the area variance. We do know that was received. The setback, variance was also received, granted. Storm drainage is proposed and will be connected to the city storm sewer, and it appears to be adequate. The exterior lighting is proposed with the 3 different styles of lights found in the plans, and code enforcement found that to be sufficient as well. The dumpster areas are existing, the green space exceeds the minimum 10%, they have 29%. And codes is just asking that any proposed signage that you apply for a sign permit, prior to installation, and that it needs to meet the city sign requirements, and they can go over those specifically with you. If not, you can find it in chapter 28, article 11 of the zoning.
Excuse me, yeah, that question too, when you're talking about the green space, so anything that isn't like.
Yeah,
It's like
so
the blanket, what
This-
is that
this
gonna
is
be, yeah,
all
what is
green
that?
space, all.
Grass?
Yep.
Oh, grass, okay.
And then it was also in the entire package forwarded onto our city departments. And there were only 2 things noted. The one by engineering, just saying ingress and egress on Buffalo Street and North 10th. They wanna know if there will be new curbing or if a curb cut requires DPW approval. And to also note that detectable warning plates shall be cast iron for the ADA at the end of the site.
Okay.
So will there be the new curbing?
It's they're both existing curb cuts.
Okay,
So are you saying, is this all new, like this is already existing concrete curb here,
Okay.
same here,
Okay,
so I don't think we're proposing any new curbing.
Okay. So you
And
just need the curb
Same
cut.
as same as here, this is already existing,
Okay.
so
Okay,
should
we can relay
remain
that.
as-
Okay. And then the other one, with the water administration, they're just saying the cross connection control, requires a 6-inch service, but I'm sure you will
Yeah, that'll be.
get into that level of detail on what the building part of it.
Yep.
And that is it. And to also note, for the file, the zoning board of appeals declared themselves lead agency. It was a long environmental assessment form. They reviewed parts 1 and 2, and the one thing I do want to ask that we do for them is request, they filled out the neg deck on the wrong form. So I would just like for you to refer me to code so I may ask them to ultimately fill out part 3 of the long environmental assessment form for the negative declaration. Otherwise, we understand their intent. It was approved. I see no issue with it. It's just housekeeping that I think we should ask them to update it accordingly.
Sure.
Do you need a motion for that?
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Sure, take a motion.
I'll make a motion, however you said.
Okay.
Whatever you said.
Have it be translated into-
Yeah, we will, Debbie and I will translate.
I'll second.
Jay, you want a second?
Yeah, I'll second. Yeah. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Then we can declare complete app.
Okay, I did have a question just before that. With them finding a moderate to large impact, do they need to put a mitigation on part 3 or no?
They'll need to.
Okay,
I'll relay that and ask them to fill it out in its entirety then upon their review of the part 3 to do it accordingly from what they've done.
I would say the mitigation is largely the fact that the use is gonna be within fenced area.
Yeah,
I mean, it was, it's gonna result in a moderate or large increase in the intensity of the use of the land. A lot more people will be going there than
Yes.
currently have.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be contained. I would say that's your mitigation.
Yeah.
Just a suggestion perhaps, Gary.
I took it down.
Okay.
I will relay those
All right.
sentiments
And
tomorrow.
and there was
And I
no,
agree.
because you're not recycling the water at all. Everything that goes,
Correct, it'll
Using a
be
single-
pass through,
it just be a pass through.
yeah,
Okay,
so whatever they use.
so there
I
was
think it
no
30.
discussion on,
Yeah.
I mean, water department's fine with all of that?
They reviewed it.
Okay, good.
Oh, and I do wanna note, we did receive the SWIP, the Stormwater Pollution Prevention Plan, because it affects over an acre of land, so they've done that, submitted it to DEC, so I just wanna note that for the record as well.
And since I've not been here when we haven't been the lead agency, on the page 10, where it identifies facilities that provide services to the elderly, children, blah, blah, blah. I was surprised in tandem, OGH Health and Omega Health were in there.
I can relay that. In tandem, OGH, and what was that?
Omega Health.
Omega, okay. All right, I will relay that as well and just suggest that perhaps they make that change.
Okay.
And I guess with that, we can then declare we have a complete application.
Yes.
So I have a motion to declare that the planning board has a complete application.
Motion?
Mary, second by Jay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Doesn't get your name in a minute, you go.
We have a complete application. So next is to set a public hearing date.
Yes,
And our next meeting would be in 2 weeks,
yes,
on the
so,
3rd, so
yes,
7 o'clock on the 23rd.
6:30.
Sorry,
I do it
I
too.
revert to the
I
old.
always have to ask
Yeah,
Kathy what time
because,
these
yeah.
meetings are.
Yes.
So, I'm sorry, what was the date?
The 23rd at 6:30.
20 years of doing it at 7 o'clock. It's hard to break that habit. So
You
yeah,
look
6:30.
over 20 because
I know,
do.
but I'm trying to say when we started going to 6:30.
Yeah.
I gotta see,
Yeah,
It's
'Cause I know I got-
96,
what's that,
1996,
for me?
because site
Oh,
plan
you.
started in 95, right?
yeah.
Or 94?
Amazing.
Oh, no, it was,
I don't
good
know.
grief.
When was Carucci Mary? I have to look back, I was under Carucci. How long ago was that?
2006, 7,
Yeah, I was under
8, 9.
John
Six,
Ash.
6, 7.
But
Hey,
John
Greg's
Ash.
got the record.
No, you probably, got it. I'm sure you do.
Okay, so we're setting your. public
Corinne
hearing,
was doing
sorry.
it. Corinne was the secretary.
We're all competing with time. Craig,
Well, when he asked me at first, I was to say this thing, he said, but, oh yeah, that would really be nice. And then I think my first meeting, well, how many years are, oh, 7. I said, 7 years, okay. But I'm on my second 7. So,
So, well, I guess back to the business.
Yeah.
I'll make the motion that we have the public hearing at 6:30 because I think we have to move that and approve it. Have a second. Seconded by Jay. All right.
There we go.
All in favor of public hearing at 6:30 on January 23rd?
Right?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, none? We have a public hearing.
So,
I think that's all you need to do.
yeah, Kathy will be emailing, do you have both of their emails?
Yes.
Okay. She will be emailing you the public hearing packet. It's similar to what you must have done for the zoning board. There'll be the memorandum, there'll be the radius spent by the assessor's office to send a notification to the property owners. I do believe you guys will be the majority on property owners on the list. You don't need to show us proof that you sent it to yourselves. It just needs to be mailed out by Friday via regular USPS. We don't need anything notarized, we just need the certification form back signed by whomever that is going to do it, saying that it's done. And we'll need the certification form either when you come to the meeting that night or prior to. Or if you just wanna scan and email it back to Kathy, she can put it in the file.
Okay, I did it last time, it was 28 letters, so.
Good.
I just
You're
brought the
probably the
form
same.
right back to Ryan the same day, so.
Okay. And we're right across the hall from Ryan.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know where Kathy is.
Oh, that's right, yeah, she said, okay. All right, I think that's all.
That's it.
Good.
Okay, thank you for your
Thank
time.
Yeah,
Thank you, it's nice to meet you.
Investing in the city, was it the majority of the money from the grant?
We got a million from the Ralph Wilson Foundation and
Eric Lyons?
the Lane donation was 600,000 and then another 500,000 from the Cutco Foundation. So those were the 3 biggest gifts. And they really believe in
Awesome.
supporting our community, which is amazing.
It is,
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
Yeah.
We have such philanthropists.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it's $5 million investment in the community, and we're at 4.5 right now in fundraising, so we're hoping to be done by March when we can hopefully break ground.
That's great.
Thanks for your time
Great.
tonight.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank
It's
you.
nice to meet you.
You too.
I have no miscellaneous.
No miscellaneous, so just the next meeting date, which is the 23rd.
Yes.
So, sort of that.
Told my wife I wouldn't be home till 9, I wouldn't.
Yeah, well, I think the zoning board, honestly, they did a tremendous job on the environmental.
okay.
And, I mean, I really, if you would put that in the record, I'm quite proud of them for doing that.
Saves us a lot.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
I know, when I saw that line of funds.
Yeah, me too. I'm thinking like, okay. I'm not gonna be-
Funny, 'cause I
Line by
was thinking
line.
Carrie's back, so now she'll have.
Yeah.
Huh?
No, they did a tremendous job.
Oh, good.
Speed reading and speed writing.
Mhm.
That's what we have.
Right.
Okay, well
That's
then
it.
that's said, a
Thank you.
motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Okay, Mary makes a motion to
Second.
adjourn, seconded by Mark. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
That's it.
Thank you to
Thank
those that
It's a wrap.
attended virtually.
Who is it?
Thank you on behalf of Boy Scout Troop 621 in Olean.
That's great,
Okay,
thank you.
thanks.
We, are glad that you joined. We hope that, we were able to help with something about learning with the form of government and how the planning board's governed, it's under our zoning ordinance, I think it's section 9.0.1 possibly, or 9.2 it's very close off the top of my head.
The
So
members are appointed by the mayor.
yes, and they have 7-year terms. And the purview of the planning board really is to review the planning aspects of projects that come in between that are actually submitted to code enforcement. Upon their review, they're then referred to community development and the planning board. And the planning board really focuses on the use, intensity of use, lighting, drainage, parking, green space, and various aspects within the zoning, and the main focus that to be community minded and that it's very well thought out. So for the owners and users of whatever the use may be of the land and or the buildings.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Have a great evening.
Okay.
Well, that was a good breakdown.